We haven't lost for nearly 2 months. What an incredible stat that is. But it's after Christmas now. The first and second games after Christmas. I really hope the players haven't eaten too much Christmas pudding, because that wouldn't be very good. But for the first time today, we're going to go just from this Leipzig start screen to the FM stream. So I think it's a bit cringy to go from that and then just stop and then say, hello everyone, it's TIJ. But let's just do that anyway. So hello everyone, it's TIJ or Toby, and welcome back to episode 5 of the RB Leipzig save on FM 2018. Today it's time for our first and second games after the Christmas break. So when you were last week, we played against Cologne and Schalke, of course, got 2 wins, and Schalke at the time were the leaders of the league. Now, since then, they've had a little bit of a downward spiral. Well, you'd say that they've only played 2 games in all fairness to them since. But I lost to Leverkusen 3-0 after that. I don't know what happened with my voice there. I think I kind of went to belch, but it didn't happen. But anyway, they lost against Leverkusen 3-0, and then they beat Dortmund 1-0. Just really want to show how much of an unorthodox first half of the season this has been. Obviously, everyone playing 17 games, apart from Gladbach and Augsburg. But if you look at the sort of the top 8, Bayern are really out of it, Dortmund are out of it, but saying that, it's all very close between everyone. And the reason I wasn't going to show the Hoffenheim game today, because we showed the Hoffenheim game at the start of the season, and I just wanted a bit of variation, which teams we showed, which I thought was fair enough. But because this is really a top-of-the-table clash, and if we turn Hoffenheim over, I think we're really, you know, in the title race, debatably. And because Bayern, with their new manager, who I want to show, obviously, the manager movements, Cologne has sacked the manager, Gladbach have, Bayern and Wolfsburg. So Bayern have brought in Luis Enrique, the former Barcelona manager. So I'm not being funny, but they're going to go on a good run at the end of this season. So it's very important we're on the top of our game and getting as many wins possible against the other teams. So when we come up against Bayern, it is kind of acceptable to lose because the points we've gained over time, hopefully, will benefit us, if that makes complete sense to you folks. The next time we do play Bayern, though, we play them on the 24th of Feb. It's quite a way away yet, so we can build up a good run of form. But since you've last been with me, we draw 1-1 with PSG in the last game of the Champions League group stage. We were down to 10 in the last 20 minutes, so I was really impressed that we kept it to a draw at home as well, really good. Then we beat Frankfurt 2-1 with Timo Werner and Bruma getting the goals, Bruma getting a penalty goal. We beat Hertha, who were in third actually at the time, who are still actually in third. We beat them 1-0, of course. It was our last game before the break in terms of Bundesliga. And then we beat Augsburg 4-0 in the DFB Pokal 4th round. Augustin getting 2 goals. Not Super Green, who of course we bought in from Mainz for about £1 million in the summer. And he scored 2 of our goals. So he's been really good, but he is a little bit injured at the moment. He's got a damaged heel. And actually what he wants another Danish player for me to sign to help him, you know, blend in a bit more. But actually there is another Danish player. You've got Yusuf Poulsen. So I've tried to play Poulsen and Begreen up front a little bit. And can we actually maybe get him to... No, you can't get him to blend with Begreen, which is a bit of a shame. They're quite similar ages, 23 and 24 respectively. That's a bit of a shame. But compared to when we lost to Augsburg 3-2 at the start of the season, we've really upped our game. We kept a clean sheet. And what I just wanted to show today is that form permanent with the 2 same games, Hoffenheim and Augsburg, or was it just a fluke against Augsburg? So our team today for this game, there's a few players, and I can just only apologise for the ladder outside. But we're playing against Hoffenheim, obviously, today. There's a few players that want a chance in the first team. Ilsanker, Lima and Bernardo. Lima's a little bit younger, so I might send him out on loan, actually, to gain that first team experience. But Ilsanker and Bernardo both get placed today, with Timo Horn in goal, Klosterman, Orban, Deo and Bernardo at the back, Ilsanker and Cage in the midfield, of course making the transfer in the summer to Liverpool, Sabitzer and Augsburg on the wings, and then Augustin and Werner up front. So let's get straight into it then. I'm not looking to dominate this game. At the end of the day, Hoffenheim have been very good this second half of the season. Well, it's not the second half, is it? We're going into the second half of the season, but the first half of the season will be really good. One of the top scorers this season has been Andrej Kramaric, who of course used to play for Leicester, that's the one. And he scored 16 goals compared to Werner, who scored 10 so far this season. So at the end of the day, we've got nothing to lose here. Let's just go and show everyone how good we are. I haven't played FM for a few days, but no, it was since last night. And last night I played FM, and I just left it after the summer break. Sorry, the winter break. I keep referencing like F1 here. Oh, the summer break. But I've left it after the winter break just to come back to today. And there's going to be 2 episodes that are quite close, actually, in terms of the game time. We're going to have this game and the Augsburg game, and I think it's only about 2 or 3 games until we play in the DFB Pokal quarterfinal. So I really want to show that quarterfinal game. It's against second division team. I can't think what they're called, but they're a second division team. So technically we should win. But in this stage of the competition, there could really be an upset. But Paslak puts it in for Wagner, and it's very nearly 1-0 to Hoffenheim. And the danger of having this winter break, it's good, you know, it refreshes the players. But at the same time, match fitness goes a little bit. And because we've got such a good run of form, I feel like if we lose our first few games of this second half of the season, that our morale could go down really badly. It's a good pass from Augustin to Sabitzer on the wing. Sabitzer's still got the ball, but Zuber gets it back. A lovely ball to Wagner. And then it's 2 against 1. Kramaric has a shot, but it's straight to Timo Horn, who's really impressed in the last few games, actually. We've kept quite a few clean sheets, which is what I'm all about. Attack is the best form of defence, but if we can defend, then that means there's less pressure on us to attack. Of course, if they score more, that means that we have to score more to get the points. But really, now, if we only obviously get 1 point, if we only get 1 goal, say, but they don't score, we still get the 3 points. So, that's all good. But Hamburger ahead of Hanover. Hamburger doing quite well this season, as well as Mainz, actually, as well. And Hertha. But Leverkusen, Dortmund and Bayern, some of the teams you would expect to be at the top, simply aren't cutting it this year. But Sabitzer's got the ball. Puts to Keita, to Forsberg. And he has a lovely shot. That's a fantastic goal. I'm just going to have to go and close the door, because this is a right racket outside. Here we go, then we've got Sabitzer on the ball. And he passes it forward to Keita, who then passes it. It's pretty much a one-touch pass to Forsberg. And what a lovely shot on his... Let me just look at my feet. His right foot, which on the left wing would be his weak foot. No? I don't know. Let's not overcomplicate things. It was a good shot. That's all that matters. Forsberg puts it in, but we are 1-0 up now away from home. That's really good, really positive, but I feel like Hoffenheim might well get one back before half-time. Kramaric, a lovely ball, but nothing really comes of it. And again, we've got another stupid highlight, for goodness sake. Right, it's nearly half-time. Krem Direnbay for them is pretty much injured. He's got a weak injury. And as you can see now, if we win today, we're only 1 point off the top of the table. And of course, Schalke can retake that top position if they win their game today. Let's not make sure that the players don't get complacent out there. They've definitely been the better team, it seems, so far. But it's very easy for these players to get complacent at the end of the day. That's quite a poor touch off that number 11, whoever it is, to give the ball away to us. It looks like Schalke are playing a little bit like Hertha, Leverkusen, Dortmund and Bayern. I wonder if we're playing early, because there's a lot of teams that are playing tomorrow. It might just be perhaps that they're playing tomorrow. I think we're playing at the 3:30 normal time. It's just that Schalke, Hertha, Dortmund, Bayern, Leverkusen and Hamburg? No, the Hamburg are playing today. Frankfurt, that's the one, that are playing tomorrow. But the benefit of coming back after this winter break, is that the players have got plenty of fitness. So we don't have to worry too much about bringing the players off due to injury. But at the same time, we want to refresh the players and to make sure that everyone gets a chance. So we'll bring Diego Dem on for Stefan Ilsank. Is it Stefan or am I going mad? Yes, it is Stefan. That's good. I know my players. And then Sabitzer can come off for Kevin Campbell, who can play as an advanced playmaker on support. And I've had a few people say, hey, why do you play Campbell on the wing? Because Campbell is naturally a central midfield. Well, funnily enough on the game, he's more of a winger, and I prefer him on the wing. Got plenty of options on the centre midfield position. We really don't need that complicating whatsoever in terms of more options there. So I'm more than happy to play him out on the wing, to be honest, as a regular option. But they've put it in, and Gnabry, of course, the former Arsenal player in the Bundesliga, at the top team in the Bundesliga, it seems, at the moment. But this loss might well damage morale, a little bit like it did with Schalke. But it's not over yet. That's very important. We can't get cocky. We can't say, oh, look at us. Because it's not over yet. We've got 20 minutes left. But even though we've had more possession, they've had more shots. They've had more fouls. We've had more shots on target. And from the basic stats, we look like we've been the better team today. But that doesn't matter. All it needs is a bit of a counter-attack from them. And the game could be completely turned on its head. Right, set them to defend and these to attack. Balance the play, as I like to do in this save. Make sure the attacking players are a bit more attacking. But make sure that the defensive players are really pushed back. So we've got a solid block of 4 at the back. Forsberg now on the ball. Lovely ball, but not quite getting to its target. Gnabry passes it to Kramaric. And Gnabry once again puts it to Zudge, is that? And it's 1-1. Robert Zulj, is that? I don't know what his name is. But it looks like he scored his first goal for Hoffenheim. Really good counter-attacking play by Hoffenheim. And as I said beforehand, it feels like they were going to score a goal at one point. Lovely assist from Gnabry, but the defender really should have got to it. We're not going to actually go and attack him. We're just going to keep on counter-attacking. A draw is respectable here, and the risk of going and attacking is we might lose the game. So we'll have to see how he plays out if there's any more highlights. I don't think there will be, and the game will finish 1-1. And it looks like on reflection that is fair. We've had plenty this year of last-minute highlights, so it's not quite over yet. there on the ball. That's a bit of a worry. Lovely ball from them, but Konate gets it back to Horn. And a solid ball out to Klosterman. Put it on the pitch, dude. Kevin Campbell. Diego Dem. Augustin, lovely ball to Campbell. Can he put it across to Werner? Not quite. Augustin. Keita. Forsberg. Here we go. Forsberg. Still Forsberg on the edge of the box. Not quite the desired effect. Certainly not as good as his previous goal, which has drawn us the match here. Very grateful for that. And even though we haven't scored too many goals today, let's give them fairness. Hoffenheim, one of the best teams in the league, so you've got to be fair to them. And a draw is a solid result away from home. Not quite a win, but we keep our unbeaten record, which is all that matters. So, Hoffenheim, you know, were apparently not the favourites to win, but I really don't care. You know, we did well, I think, today, and I think we were unlucky, to be quite honest, to not win that game. But at the end of the day, we seem like the better team, and there we go. Robert Zulj played the super sub role today, and he came from Austria. That's why I couldn't say his name. First off, is at Salzburg, was in the second Bundesliga, and then looks like he's made the rise to the first Bundesliga at the late age of 25, so he looks like he's in his prime. Of course, the last time we played Augsburg, we beat them 4-0, but the time before that, we lost 3-2 away from home. But of course, we are at home, and that's the same place that we played them in December at the Central Stadion. If I pronounced that right, give me a gold star. But we'll go now anyway to home, and see if we can beat Augsburg to get another 3 points on the table for our title challenge. We're ready then for the second game, but just before we start the second game, I'll have a quick look at some of the deals that clubs have made in the transfer window. Now, there's been 30% of those deals that have been foreign imports. There's only been 13 deals, bear in mind, but there have been some quite very big deals in this transfer window. So first off, Kevin Volland has gone for Dortmund, which is a huge signing for Dortmund. Played for Leverkusen before, but Dortmund managed to whisk him away. Nicholas Stark went from Hertha to Man City. But on the ins for Bayern, after a terrible start to the season, they've spent about 41 million on Maximilian Arnold from Wolfsburg. Solid player, 23 years old, and can only improve, I guess. And then Pione Sisto is a bit of a FIFA god, really. He's 22, come from Celta, and he's signed for Bayern. We haven't signed anyone just yet, but we are in the process of getting rid, not getting rid necessarily, but sending Lima out on loan to a number of one of these clubs. Dortmund offered me a contract, but I just thought no. The one I'm interested in, though, is the one from Wolfsburg, because the same league, and that would be really good development for him. Of course, they're doing quite badly. And one thing that happened that was really crucial last night, Mainz drew with Schalke, so both of those teams dropped points, and hopefully we can beat Augsburg today, not Wolfsburg. I guess it's got S and a Berg at the end, but not quite the same team. But for today's match, we only make one change, and that one change, unfortunately, is Forsberg goes out because he's out for 2 months with a lower back stress fracture. So after his goal in the last game, it's a real gutting one that he has to depart for a few months, and pretty much till the end of the season. So Bruma comes in his place, but apart from that, looking at the team, I believe it's exactly the same team that faced Hoffenheim. Now, I can't pronounce his name, we'll just call him Elias. Elias is 17, he is a very good player already at the moment, come from Hertha and their youth academy system, and he wants to play games. He's moaning that he's unhappy that being in the under-19s, but not being funny, he's only 17, so he can't come into the team straight away. But I'm going to try and bring him on for a few substitutions, see what he plays like, and we can only really give him a try, can't we? And at the end of the day, we're going to be bringing a lot of the youth forward in the next few years because they're being touted by quite a few clubs. So we need to show them that there is a reason for them to stay at RB Leipzig rather than go anywhere else, but to stay at RB Leipzig because they will get first team football. It's a really tricky one to suit everyone, but of course for some of these players they won't turn out to be world beaters. So if they're not very good, then they'll just be sold, and that's just the way that youth football does go, I guess. Augsburg though, Ji Dong-won, what a player! Who did he used to play? I'm sure did he play for Palace at one? Oh, I'll have a look in a bit, but I think he played for Palace at one point. But they've got a high. I feel like they're going to win today, you know. But hopefully they don't, and I'm very much pessimist. You know, in both games this episode, I've said, oh, we're going to lose, but there we go. Bruma on the ball to Keita in the middle. Back to Bruma, a nice 1-2 there. Bruma on the wing, puts it in, and oh, it's nearly a goal. Apparently hit save that, which is quite interesting, but there we go. We've got a corner. I'll tell you what, we have a quick look at Augsburg and Ji Dong-won before we get on. Ji Dong-won used to play for oh, I've messed that one up. Sunderland, not Crystal Palace. Where did I get Palace from? God knows. But he went to Augsburg, then went to Borussia Dortmund, the second team on a free, and then came back to Augsburg. That's odd. Right, back into the game action straight away. I don't know why he thought. I'm sure he played for someone like Palace. Well, he played for Sunderland. Wow, that was a good cross from miles away, and it could have well just gone in. Yeah, I'm sure he played for someone like that. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Let's just get into this game. So we're 16 minutes in. We're dominating at the moment. No doubt about that. So we are going to have to go on attacking football and simply tell the players to push forward, because then we might get a goal. But here we go. Here comes the Augsburg goal. Their first shot of the game. You can go get De Paul, but Klosterman gets it back. Nice one. Bit of a weak shot from them there, but can we have a good counter-attack? Lovely ball from Bruma. Nothing really coming of it, though. And that's the end of the highlights, which is a bit of a boring one. And hopefully we don't get 2 draws, though. We're making a bit of a pattern, really, of these episodes. In episode 2, we got 2 losses. In episode 3, we got 2 wins. So I guess it would make sense to have 2 draws in this episode. A bit of fate. Anyway, Bruma to Sabitzer. To Augustin. We've lost the ball, unfortunately, though, now, but we get it back due to Stefan Elsanka. Naby Keita. Bruma on the wing. Stefan Elsanka puts to Augustin in the box, and it's a shot. And it doesn't quite go past the goalkeeper of Hits, which is a bit unfortunate, but we're still quite early on in this game, which is absolutely fine. Got me lemon and lime Asda stuff again. If you've what, I don't know if it was this save or the Liverpool save, I was promoting the Asda stuff. It's very nice and it's very refreshing. So I just had my dinner: chicken in hoisin sauce, with mushrooms and onions, and that's what I had with it. A very nice lemon and lime drink, and yeah, chicken with hoisin, mushrooms and onions. Very, very nice. Anyway, enough of my eating habits and more on the football. That I suppose is a bit of like a circle thing. I don't know. Anyway, they've won the ball back. A stupid pass from Timo Werner, but it's back to Schmidt. Passes it to Kud. I don't even want to pronounce that. But Zidong won. Puts it in for Schmidt, and it's 1-0 Augsburg. You know what? I thought this was going to happen. In fact, I knew it was going to happen. We have dominated all the game, and I think that's probably their first or second shot. Fair enough. And they've took the lead. And it looks like Augsburg, apart from the cup, of course, are going to be a little bit of a bogey team. And the only team, of course, because we're playing our second cycle of games, in which we've lost both of our games to, if it keeps up in this season, which isn't great. Because if we lose this game, we really lose touch with the likes of Hertha and Hoffenheim at the end of the day. But shocking, we have to give the players a bit of a slap on the wrist. And make sure they've got a little bit of a desire to go out there and do something about it. We haven't been good enough today. It's simple. And it doesn't need a genius to tell you that. But we just need to run at the defence a bit more. Mix crosses, that sort of thing. And hopefully we can get a goal within the first 10 minutes. At the end of the day, we've had a lot of shots. We've had a lot of possession as well. So really, we should be getting a goal at some point here. It'd be logical anyway. 60 minutes in now. Hamburg are having another great game. 2 wins in 2 it'll be for them. And I'll tell you what, if we lose this game, I'll be gutted. Compared to the last episode where it was really all going well. Been a bit of a boring second half, this has to be honest. Paulson will come on for Augustin. Done nothing today, to be quite honest. Augustin hasn't. And we'll also bring on Kevin Campbell for Sabitzer, who also has done nothing. And we'll also try a bit of youth with Elias on the wing. Playing as a winger, we'll play him on attack. And then do as we did against Hoffenheim. Get the defenders to push back a little bit. And the attackers to push forward. Right, we really need now to demand more from the players. That's not the correct one. But demand more from the players. Really, the one with the megaphone ought to be the one for the speaking. That looks a bit odd, but no highlights in this second half. That's a real shame, you know. And hopefully we do get a highlight. If we get a draw out of this game, I'll be quite happy. I'll take a point here. But if we lose, Bayern could go above us after their rubbish start, to be quite honest. Can go above us here. But Keita has a shot, but it's blocked. Poulsen puts it through to Keita. Nothing coming of it. Hits, gathers up the loose ball. As it said beautifully on the commentary down there. I remember that I did like videos on FM12. And practically it would just be me repeating what it said on the commentary screen. But we're a long way past that now. Campbell puts it into Poulsen. To Elsanka. It's 1-1. Get in. Elsanka with the finish. The scores are level again. See, I'm doing the FM12 style. But yeah, that's much better now. Well, I mean, we need the win to be quite honest. A poor goal kick from Hits. Practically right to Kevin Campbell on the wing. And of course gets a space because of Forsberg getting injured. But a lovely ball from Poulsen and a lovely shot from Elsanka to follow that up. If we can make it 2-1 now, that'd be fantastic. But I feel like it might just end 1-1. But if it can end 2-1, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Right, I've made another substitution. They've only made two subs. They've got room for another one, I guess. But really, we should be winning this game, I think. And if we can get that winning goal, that'd be brilliant. I don't think it'll come though. Oh, we do have a highlight. And it's a free kick. And a Deo, whatever. Deo had a shot, didn't quite get to plan. But now they've got a counter-attack. Just brilliant. Right, a lovely deflection and tackle from Deo. Lovely ball to Campbell. Lovely direct passing now. Paulson on the ball. Through to Werner. Werner has a shot. It's just over the bar. But to be quite honest, He wasn't on target anyway. So that looks like it's going to be it, even though we do have a highlight. Schmidt puts it to that player I don't want to pronounce. Schmidt to Bayer, is that? Bayer, Schmidt, and the goalkeeper sees it wide. That's going to be another draw today. Oh, I mean, fair enough. An episode of wins, an episode of losses, and an episode of draws. It looks like there's a massive pattern with this series. The players haven't been good enough, though, today. That's simply not good enough. We should have beat Augsburg at the end of the day, and that's, in my eyes, there. 2 points dropped. Hoffenheim, it was a point gained away from home, but a point dropped. And our first draw in the league ever since we drew with Mainz back in October. Blind. But we still haven't lost since the 18th of November, and I will be coming back. As I said, it's quite short between the next few episodes. We'll play the game against Ingolstadt in the quarterfinal of the DFB Pokal, as well as the game against Stuttgart or Leverkusen, depending on which one is higher in the league, if that makes sense. So, the bigger game, and we haven't played it, but don't think against either of them on camera, and they're both home games as well, so it doesn't really matter which one we play. So after that episode then, there's a few teams that haven't played quite yet, but we are strongly in the top 4, 32 points ahead of Hertha, Hamburger, Mainz and Bayern. Of course, Bayern can go in a point of us, same as Leverkusen if they win their next match. But it should be really interesting. Let me know what you think we should do in the transfer window. I don't really know what to do in the transfer window, to be quite honest. I don't think we should sign anyone. We've got a really strong squad, but at the end of the season I might decide to offload some players at the end of the season. Anyway, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to leave it a like. Let's go for an aim of 5 likes on this video. And thank you so much for the support on the FM18 stuff so far. It's been absolutely fantastic. And seeing the analytics every day, about 400 or 500 views every day has been absolutely fantastic. And all I can do is say thank you very much all for that. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to like the down below for daily notifications. If you hit that little bell thing next to subscribe for whenever I upload. But if you've enjoyed that, make sure to like, comment, as I said already, and subscribe if you're new. And I've been TIJ, and I'll see you tomorrow for episode 6 of the RB Leipzig series. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.